Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Maddie Vollmer.
And I'm Noah Padaka. It looks like a 10-year water dispute between Texas and New Mexico is close to being settled. Texas sued New Mexico in 2013, saying farmers in southern New Mexico are depleting the Rio Grande water that New Mexico is required to deliver in Texas. They're supposed to go to trial in January, but the two states said they've reached a settlement. Even so, the federal government says though the federal government says the issue should still go to court because all the issues have not yet been settled. The two sides are to submit motions to approve the settlement by November 14th. Water is also on the minds of people in Las Vegas, New Mexico. The trouble is debris from a wildfire contaminating their water supply. As News 22's Josh Montoya reports, the town is working to get their water supply back to normal.
This is K-Bob's Steakhouse, one of the most popular places to eat in Las Vegas. It might look like an ordinary business day, but it's not.
We were told that if from the city, anybody using city water, if you went over 44 gallons a day, they would shut you off.
There it is, bro. You see it?
And restaurants use a lot of water for cooking, and especially to wash dishes. The water shortage started after debris from the Calf Canyon Hermit's Peak fire contaminated the Rio Gallinas.
What feeds all of these acequias, and it's what provides water for the community of Las Vegas.
Here we are in Montezuma, New Mexico, right near the old skating pond. The old skating pond does go into the Rio Gallinas River, which also leads to Las Vegas's water supply. As you can see right behind me, there are some orange buoys right behind me, which is used to hold off the debris from flowing in right into the city's water system.
During the worst of the water crisis, K-Bobs used disposable plates so they wouldn't have to wash dishes. But things are better now. They're using real plates, and the dishwasher is back in business.
I would say our dishwasher runs about about 80% of the day, and it actually saves water compared to using your hands to wash the dishes.
Although the situation is improving, city officials are keeping a close eye on the problem.
What we have are what are called gabion structures, which hold back debris, and they're actually holding back some of the sediment as well. And that way we can remove the sediment before it gets downstream. Unfortunately, there's so much sediment that much of it is still making it downstream.
She estimates there is a 40-day supply of water at the moment, but they will be testing samples every day to make sure. Josh Montoya, News 22.
It was a beautiful day today, Noah.
You know, it was really beautiful. I finally got to take off my jacket walking to class. April, what can you tell us about those current conditions outside?
Well, it was a beautiful day today. We did have sunny skies with a temperature of 70 degrees. We did have quite a breeze coming in from the southwest at 6 miles per hour, a humidity of 19%, a dew point of 42, and a barometer of 29.84 inches. And for our high temperature today, it was 72 degrees with an average temperature of 70 degrees, while we experienced our lowest temperature of the day early in the morning at a chilly 44 degrees. Our record high temperature occurred in 2013 at 108 degrees, while in 2011 we had our lowest temperature yet of 9 degrees below zero. We did not have any rainfall today, so our yearly rainfall stays at 13.78 inches. That's all for your current conditions, but join me later for a look at your national maps.
Thanks, April. With Halloween and Dia de los Muertos coming up, Customs and Border Patrol are sending out some spooky advice. Certain agricultural items used in holiday decorations like muralla can't be brought into the U.S. And fruit like grapefruit, tangerines, guavas, mangoes, and peaches, and pomegranates too, are also on the no crossing list. It's also illegal to try to cross the border wearing costumes that alter your appearance or obscure your identity.
Stay tuned. April will be back with your national weather forecast.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Wednesday.
Where news matters.
And April, we've had beautiful weather here in the borderland. What does the rest of the country look like?
Well, for the first national map, we do have the high temperatures across the nation, yet the majority of the country is actually experiencing a bit cooler temperatures, especially in the northwestern region, such as 53 degrees in Billings and 43 degrees in Cut Bank. And for our next national map, we have the rain and snow forecast for the next 48 hours. And the majority of the action is actually happening in Texas and Oklahoma, but not too far from them in Colorado. They are going to be experiencing snow anywhere between 1 to 5 inches in some parts of the state. And for our last map of the night, we do have the high cloud tops as well as strong winds across the nation. Yet along and not too far from the East Coast, we do have a storm brewing along the Atlantic Ocean. And that's all for the national maps today. But join me after the break for a look at your local weather. And for our weather today in Farmington, we do have 61 degrees. In Gallup, it's going to be 51 degrees. Socorro's at 69 degrees, and Deming is at 72 degrees. And for our weather for tomorrow, we're going to be seeing almost around the same temperatures. In Farmington, it will be 50 degrees. In Ruidoso, it will be 52 degrees, and in Deming, it will be 70 degrees. And in Alamogordo tonight, they'll have a low temperature of 48 degrees with partly cloudy skies, and tomorrow a high temperature of 69 degrees. In Truth or Consequences, they will have partly cloudy skies as well with a low temperature of 42 and a high of 69. In Silver City, they'll have the lowest temperature of 40 degrees and clear skies, and a high temperature tomorrow of 61 degrees. And in Las Cruces tonight, they'll have clear skies and a low temperature of 44 degrees, while tomorrow we'll have partly cloudy skies and a high temperature of 70 degrees. Now back to the desk.
And Carpio is next with a look at your sports.
That's right, baseball fans rejoice like Big Papi says, the Yankees lose. Game 1 is on Friday, but that's coming up next. Don't go too far, guys. News 22 Sports is next.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
So first of all, SpongeBob isn't the only one talking about sweet victory, because guess what? The golf team won their second straight championship yesterday. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I'm Carpio Grego, in case you forgot. You know, I tend to have a forgettable face, I hear. Yeah, but like I said, SpongeBob isn't the only one who can sing about sweet victory. The men's golf team went out with a bang before winter break by continuing their winning streak at the Clerico tournament in Tulsa yesterday. The Aggies won their second straight championship in a row this fall and able to do this in dominant fashion, never falling out of first place despite a shooting struggle on Monday, with top performer Grayson Smith leading the way, shooting 141 in the tournament. While this was only good enough for a 6th place individual finish, there is no I in team, as the saying goes. And, you know, it's 2022, and here at News 22, we're all about gender equality, so let's talk about the Lady Aggies today. See, they're coming off a struggle of a 10-19 season, but just like the men, there's a fresh voice in the locker room, as Jody Adams brings her 185 wins and reputation of rebuilding programs at Las Cruces. She wants players to buy into her philosophy of owning their 20-square-foot section of the court, so let's support the female Aggies, because we all know the best part of a rebuild is the winning at the end. And that's going to be all for News 22 today. Next up, you're going to get a 5-day forecast from April over here, and join us for more sports action tomorrow.
Welcome back. The most common type of star in our universe, an M-dwarf, will not be able to handle nearby planets that could host life. That's according to a new study published in the Astrophysical Journal Letters. In studying a planet orbiting an M-dwarf 66 light-years from Earth, researchers found no indication that a star could hold onto an atmosphere at all. Disappointingly enough, scientists have been hoping the star would be able to host planets with atmospheres potentially rich and carbon, perfect for the creation of life. And let's send it over to April for a final look at that 5-day forecast.
And for the 5-day forecast, we have a mainly sunny week with the highest temperature only going up to 73 degrees and the lowest temperature of 36. That's all for your 5-day forecast. Now, back to the desk.
And that's all for News 22 Wednesday. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Tune in tomorrow night for more news. I'm Maddie Volmer.
And I'm Noah Padaka. And from the entire News 22 team, Noah, April, Carpio, and myself, have a great night.
This news brief in Espanol is brought to you by Noticias 22, Spanish language news for southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias 22.
Muy buenas tardes, saludo con mucho gusto Jorge Fonseca con el breve del día de hoy. Los oficiales de aduana y protección fronteriza de Estados Unidos, quienes trabajan en los diferentes puentes fronterizos del Paso, confiscaron más de 31 libras de metanfetamina y 19 libras de cocaína en 2 incidentes no relacionados. El primero ocurrió el viernes antes de las 7 de la mañana, en el cual un conductor de 58 años de nacionalidad mexicana intentó cruzar un vehículo con aproximadamente 19 libras de cocaína. Oficiales hallaron la droga a través de una inspección en la cual encontraron bultos de droga adentro del vehículo. El segundo incidente ocurrió el pasado lunes, donde oficiales en el cruce fronterizo de Isleta confiscaron aproximadamente 31 libras de metanfetamina, cuando un conductor estadounidense de 29 años intentó cruzar la droga. Oficiales confiscaron nuevamente la droga por medio de una inspección en la cual los bultos fueron encontrados adentro del vehículo. Los 2 sujetos fueron arrestados y el caso aún sigue bajo investigación. En otras noticias, el expresidente de la Universidad Estatal de Nuevo México, James Halligan, falleció el día de ayer en Stillwater, Oklahoma. Halligan tenía 86 años de edad, tuvo el puesto de presidente desde 1984 hasta 1994. Esto ha sido todo por mi parte y les deseo una buena noche.